Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a game called Magicka. This is an awesome game which I've been playing with a lot with some of my friends, and we've been having a lot of fun with this, and hopefully we will do videos of that later in the future. However, I'm just going to show you this on my own just so you can get the idea of how this game works. So I have the collector's edition, which means I can go and have like all these different types of uniform which do a lot of different things. The guy I like to play with is this one here, and you can also change like colours and stuff. So yeah, different colours, just so you sort of know who's who really. Because it can get very confusing. There's a bit of blue on there. So this guy is vulnerable to lightning. He actually is healed by lightning, but he does have a weakness to water. But if he, you can have like different states as well. So you can like be on fire and you'll burn. You'll be poisoned and you just lose health, sort of quite gradually. You can also be wet, which means if when you're using lightning spells, it doesn't have any effect and you just cast it on yourself. If this guy's wet and you're casting lightning spells, it will just heal you instantly, so you don't have to do anything else. So I'm just going to start this game straight from the beginning, so you get to learn.
Listen, and I will tell you a story of Dungeons and Dragons, of orcs and goblins, of ghouls and ghosts, of kings and quests, but most importantly, of wizards and vampires. Well, a story of wizards. Once upon a time, in a land known as Midgard, there lived a powerful wizard named Grimnir, who sought to harness the power of all magics, ancient spells crafted in times long forgotten. With such knowledge, he might enable the wizards of the Order of Magic to spread eternal peace across the lands. But the Order of Magic instead felt threatened by his ambitions, and in the shadows they schemed and devised a treacherous plan. And so, Grimnir's disciples were expelled from the Order, and he himself was, for all time, imprisoned at World's End. All because of his dangerous lust for knowledge. Grimnir's dangerous ambitions dashed, the world was safe once more. Aside from the increased number of monsters attacking the good villagers. And of course the warlord Khan, who had united the orc tribes and now threatened the great city of Havendir. But in the dusty gloom of Castle Aldraheim, where the Order of Magic dwelled, a brilliant teacher and his finest pupils were about to embark on a journey that would prevent the world from changing forever.
So there's actually a still story to this. So obviously he speaks like he would as a sim. So this does have like a comedy aspect, and the idea is that this guy, he is a vampire, but he's making out that he's not, because otherwise he would be mostly killed. So you actually walk around actually holding the left click, and you just point to wherever you want to kind of go, which is awesome. It's a bit confusing because you use like the W, A, S, and D keys to cast spells, which are just down in this corner here, and different buttons do different elements. Or you can actually combine the elements to do some like really cool spells. So this is like the tutorial, sort of learning the spells and just doing the basics.
mycket dunkar redan. Men jag är redan vid halvt oster. Bli inte arg. Bejlix bättre klättertorn, ju mer oster.
Wow, tjena G! Ge Gremner, ge skapar neder!
Mår ju bra nu ut. Spatchar en väg upp. Ge vi hålplankar. Rembrandt, säkerordet är bananer.
So this has a lot of sort of references and just all time just ridiculousness. So we learnt Life. Life is a healing spell which also cures poison and damages the undead. Which is sweet because you actually just do that, but it doesn't actually work on me because I'm immune to this. Which is fantastic. So you just hold shift to use your melee weapon. You use shift and then left click to just do that. And you also learn fire, so fire is F. And the idea is you just do obviously the more you cast it, the longer the range will be. As you can see, it does make a bit of a difference. And you can do some really cool combos. So this combo is use earth and use fire. And you just hold down the right click. It makes like a comet sort of fire out. It's like a fireball really. So this is my healing, is the lightning. Which, if you can actually mix the fire and lightning, and it has like this red ball of electricity, which is so cool. So I just use lightning on myself using the pressing A like 5 times, and I just press down the middle button and it will heal me. Normally it wouldn't. Now that I'm all wet, you can see I'm just tapping A and it will just instantly heal me. If I was any other character, that would damage me. So what you want to do is you want to do fire and the middle button, and you'll just get hurt slightly, but it'll dry off. So now that this is the sort of more interesting aspect, I have to use electricity on both these things. So I can actually cast a area of effect by obviously tapping A, shift, and then right clicking it. Obviously I failed because I pressed W. But it would just cast like an area effect, so if you're like surrounded by enemies, it's super cool. This is the arcane beam, which you can combo and do absolutely ridiculous stuff. For example, I press S, A, and I'll just cast a beam of electricity. You can also combo this to do the arcane beam, lightning beam, and the fire beam, and it will do this, which is super OP. This is the cold spray, or the ice spray, which will just freeze water because we can't actually swim. So we'll just sort of freeze this area. I don't know how I survived that, but yeah. Should be able to cast the effects, yeah. So you can also do the same thing. And water will just take care of fire, which is awesome. You can also combo it, so you can do like fire and water will make steam, which is really useful. And this spell you can use haste. So what you do is you do lightning S, the arcane beam and the F with fire, and you press spacebar, and you just run like that. Otherwise, you end up dead. Oops. Do you want to time this perfectly, because if you don't use haste, you will actually end up sort of crashing and falling off. Which is so cool. So imps are cowards. They will attack if cornered. When your spell bar is empty, you can use either the area of force buttons to perform a push. So if you don't actually have any spells, you just cast like wind, which actually pushes them back. Also, if you hold down the right click, it will make the spell a lot more powerful, like so. Also, there's a lot of gore in this game, which is fantastic. And you can actually use cold to actually freeze the enemies as well, so it'll just slow them down. It is quite difficult to aim as well once you get sort of like the hang of it. There is an enemy there. There you are. There we go. Now there was actually like combinations where you do like steam, I think it's then fire, earth, fire, no. Which one is it? There's like a meteor shower you can do, and it is stupidly powerful. Something like that. No. But yeah, different combinations can do different spells. I'll try and remember it once I can actually do so. But this is like a boss fight now. This is like the first actual proper enemy that you'll face. And I can now cast a shield on myself, which is fantastic. Keep forgetting how we're using life. There. That's like the main tutorial of the actual game.
Wow! Ni rappa! Vi sänk tittar ner Fritzl. Ni vet, visotittar. GG som ni missar. Anywho, sen propp Fellnade. Det var nog bra om ni tar Nidu.
So Revive is an interesting interesting spell, as is Crash to Desktop. Crash to Desktop will kill any random player, so when you're playing with friends, you can just cast a spell. The problem is, it's completely random and it will just kill the other player instantly. So it's kind of like a trolley, a very trolley weapon. Here we go. So this is the Meteor Shower, which is, by the way, absolutely ridiculous. This is what I tried to do before, and at this point you've got to sort of be careful with it. Okay, I can't actually cast it indoors. Makes sense. So when I go outside, I'll show you exactly what it does, because it is just ridiculous. I gotta be careful I don't kill anyone with this. But that's the meteor shower, which is just fantastic. So I can actually revive myself, so I get like a second chance. But it will take a while for that to actually do something. So with these dummies, you can just practice using different spells. So you can actually create a steam blast, which is pretty strong. That is also pretty strong. So let's actually see what it's like on a dummy. So you do steam 3 times, do fire then lightning. We took that down pretty quickly. That is also just as fast. So steam 3 times, which is FQ, 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 and then you do SA. And just fire it, and it will cast steam, lightning, and fire. And I managed to get that guy. Wow.
And over the trooper kan träffa så bra. Du bara spatsa norrut. Det passar värre.
This game is a lot better when you play with friends. Mainly because a lot of ridiculous things can happen and you will end up killing many of your friends. We have tested this out many times. Also, if you cast the spells, you can actually you'll actually end up walking slower. So the more spells you actually carry, it's like carrying weight. And there is a spell book up there. I wonder if I can actually get that spell book. Okay, so wizards can't swim, and if I fall in, I'll just end up dying. So what I want to do is just do what I did before and just freeze the water. It's a pretty sweet mechanic, and these little these obelisks kind of thing, they'll just be a checkpoint where I can just revive, and that fairy thing will just revive me like normal. So I get like a second chance of life.
Eller, ni betar visi. Du rappar kellarati. Vada kappa, les och mynt.
This is kind of like an RPG in some ways, because you just end up like say like with quests you just talk to people and they'll just activate and you get like rewards and stuff, so it's like that kind of thing. You want to try and keep those villages alive, then you actually get the reward.
Spanken, kellarati nepa da blodjo. Na, je bara dör sprinkle uta feberlappa.
Yeah, also it will take jokes to the game, so where it has the exclamation mark, it will pick up on that, which is so funny. Because it's quite unique. Not a lot of games do that. So we'll see what these spells are actually like when they're actually cast on their enemies. Another thing you can do, which I haven't actually shown you yet, is you can actually enchant your weapon. So you can do like spells like this, and you can like hold down shift, and it will just enchant the weapon, which is super cool.
Så kan inte hacken.
Get Ragman. Seriously? Never cast a rock around.
I won't pay too much attention on the story because I might try and do that with my friends.
Vi Golders bolle! Med skogsjäder!
So this is like the first actual proper boss. Also, you can actually end up killing the people that are sort of allies. And you can't revive them. You can only revive your friends. Which is annoying. Because if, again, some people will give you things if you complete quests and challenges, and if they die, you can't revive them. So that's like the first level completed. Second level gets a little bit harder, obviously, because that's the way games go. Higher level you are, the harder the game will actually be.
And so our young and bold wizard set forth.
I didn't actually do anything there. It just did that itself.
Ye aldrig tes fatira tarakas de superlok. Vavaktir.
So this guy will always make sure, make out he's not a vampire when he blatantly is. Just to be a, I don't know, have that kind of element. Also, if they're wet, if you actually end up soaking an enemy and use lightning, it will become a lot. The lightning will become a lot stronger, which is a good thing, because then it just allows you to combo a lot easier. The only issue you have with lightning is that when it changes like that, you actually will end up hitting your friends at some point. Which isn't a big deal when it comes to me, because it will heal me. But it is a big problem when it comes to everyone else, because I need lines to heal. And I annoy a lot of people by doing that. So it's water and then fire and water. No, it's... You want to do water, and then you want to do water again, then fire. That's it. So it has to be in that specific order. If you saw the symbols down there, and you just make it rain. So it's easy for me to heal that way, but I think for the in the ass for everyone else. So there's a clear indication of what it's like when I die. Also, when you do die, you'll actually end up dropping the weapon that you have.
Hey!
Again, you can talk to these people. Sometimes they'll give you quests, and sometimes they'll just give you dialogue. And there's references everywhere, as you can clearly see on the sign. Now this bit's actually quite tricky, so I've done this on my own before, and I have massive issues. Because there's goblins with bombs, and if you stand too close, they'll just insta-kill you. So the way you want to kill them, so you want to try and get those first, and you just want to kill them with fire. So I've actually made the mistake where I've got those bombers too close and I wasn't actually paying any attention to them. And if they get too close, it's like suicide bombers or berserkers.
Je soprano ni mede de lang. Framom fornskoker und under des däck vad dir stier. Vi vakfull.
So this game is actually incredibly fun to sort of play and just sort of experiment with spells. Obviously the more you go on, the more spells you'll learn. And just using like meteor showers can be hilarious, especially when playing with friends and like they're not expecting it. It's kind of like a massive. It's just a way to, if you ever want to play with friends and you just want to troll them, this is the way to do it. So I'm actually going to use meteor shower on this troll and see what happens. Hopefully it won't get me. Okay. Obviously, if you feel healed by fire, this is the perfect spell for you. Also, there's a lot of blood going on. So Crash Desktop is also just ridiculous. I can't really show you because it would just end up killing me. And I'll probably have to restart the game. You can also confuse your enemies, well, confuse your friends actually. It doesn't confuse your enemies, it just confuses your friends, so when you want to sort of go forward like that, it will actually send you backwards. And different, I think if you press W it will do S, if you do Q it will do A, so if you want to cast water spells it will just do lightning spells. And it's just an awesome way to troll. Annoying as hell, but it's fun. What I also like about this guy's melee is that it's actually long range and can be absolutely ridiculous when it comes to arcane spells. Just do it quickly. This is actually a perfect time to use Meteor Shower, if I can remember it. Oh, press the wrong button. That is also the other issue, is that you will be killing yourself sometimes. Oh, on fire. Okay, this is bad. This is bad. I'm really on fire right now. Urgh. Also, when goblins jump on you, you have to like tap space a lot. So there's a perfect example of using like the area effect spell. There's also another spell you can do, which is like a bit like Shower Storm, but it will do like lightning storms as well, which is very useful for me.
Gaga Tradova, Jepa de Marva Varga School, Dargalurur Ormfarn, Jormungandr.
So I'm actually just going to end up the episode here. If you do want to see more of this and sort of see more spells and most certainly see co-op, then that would be awesome. Let me know in the comments and I will see you in the next episode. Until then guys, take it easy. Thank you very much for watching.